Alright, so this is going to be about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I've put about 40 hours in the making of this video right here. So I haven't beaten the game yet, haven't fully done everything, but 40 hours is a good chunk to basically explain the overall feel of the game. So, not spoiling much, honestly. It's just going to really be the beginning cutscene. Besides that, it's just gameplay footage, but this game takes place before the first game, but after Origins and Odyssey. But it does have quite a bit of references to Origins. Not really Odyssey. It definitely has a few references to Assassin's Creed 3. But I don't want to spoil too much. And as you'll obviously tell, this is the age of Vikings. It definitely is an improvement over the last one, which I know a lot of people liked Odyssey, but that's probably one of my least favorite ones. It was just a bloated, kind of repetitive, which, you know, a lot of people will say a lot of these are repetitive, but it's just like a bloated mess that I really didn't enjoy. And in that game, by the time I quit, I had like 60 hours in it, and I felt like I was hardly even reaching the 50-hour mark. I mean the halfway mark. So in this one, I can definitely say that at 40 hours, I feel like I'm in the middle to end. I feel like you can progress easily. It doesn't feel like a grind. They definitely changed the skill leveling up and adding in a skill tree, which is much better than I think any of the games have done in the past. So I'll let this cutscene finish, and then whenever it goes back to the gameplay, I'll talk about that.
Now it's my turn to offer you to your slave. Accept your fate, die a coward here before your people, and I will spare the rest.
Fight, my love! Do not listen!
If I give my life, will you spare my clan? You have my word.
No. No, Baron. No, Aaron! Pick up your axe!
And also in this one, just like the last one, you can pick whether you want to have a female or male Eivor, but the beginning cutscene plays out regardless, because you pick after this, so obviously the child looks, I guess, unidentifiable at the moment, so. And unlike Odyssey, the fictional things in this game overall, they do a better job at explaining how it's quote-unquote possible overall, and so I can appreciate it. Whereas in Odyssey, it was like, hey, here's a Cyclops, hey, here's a Centaur, and I was like, okay, alright, you know, suspicion of disbelief in this game. And the modern day storyline with the main character Layla from Origins and Odyssey is still the same. A lot of people I know who played it were really confused because they didn't play the DLC for Odyssey, so I recommend honestly just watch that on YouTube, because playing that game completely is just a chore in my opinion. But as you'll see, because at the moment I have the As you'll see, I have the Hidden One's robe. with Thor's armor set. But as you can see, same layout as Origins and Odyssey, where you know, the gears, your quiver. Now there's rations for your health, which it's annoying that you can't craft rations. I really wish they changed that, but you basically upgrade your ration pouch and you collect berries and stuff. And your inventory, as you can see, you actually can't drop anything. That's something that confused me and everyone else I knew. Is I was worried because my inventory space was leaving, like running out of space. But it turns out you can't drop anything. I wish they would have told you that. So I guess it's a way for them to, from what I read, make every weapon feel more personal and special. So you can't just like loot bodies or anything. You get weapons from gear chests that you have to find across the map, which, as you can see here, this is England, because you'll see London and stuff, but you can also go to Norway and Vinland, which is America before it was America. And just like Origins and Odyssey, you have the Templar Order, and you can figure out like the clues to go assassinate them. And now there's zealots, which are very, very powerful enemies that are super annoying to kill. I couldn't even kill my first one till I was level like 150, something crazy like that, and I just turned it on easy mode real quick because I was getting so pissed off. But you can see they have databases, tutorials, all kinds of stuff. Basically the same layout, I'm telling you, from Odyssey and Origins. And some mini games you can do is fishing, drinking, like a dice strategy game, flighting, which is almost like a weird like rap battle, I guess, like rhyming rap battle, which is neat because when you do that, it upgrades your charisma level, and you can use hidden dialogue options in certain events, which I've only had 2 instances where that was possible, so I don't even know how common that is, and I feel like I've progressed in the story quite a bit, so we'll see. And as you can see, the fishing mechanic is real easy. Once the fish latches on, you just mash X and pull it towards you. Because in your settlement, you can give the fish to like the fishing kid and his dad, and he'll reward you. Unfortunately, I don't, because I do kind of miss in Black Flag how you could fish like whales and all kinds of stuff. Because you would think in like the northern seas there would be whales, but you can't really harpoon or anything. I don't know personally if Vikings did that, but I just thought it would have been a neat feature. And so this is the drinking game. It's a alright mini game. What kind of annoys me is that, as you can see, the NPC seems to be drinking really, really fast with no problem. But with me, they're like artificially slowing it down. Where you have to mash X at a certain time. I don't know. At least that's just how I feel. And I don't think the NPCs ever mess up once. Which, once again, it's kind of annoying that it's almost at an unfair advantage, because you have to do the thing where you're hitting X at the right circle, but then, as you'll see, you have to also use the analog stick as well. See, as like you can see, the NPC isn't even struggling at all. That's what's frustrating, is they don't even try to make it fair. So I don't really do this mini game. I haven't tried the dice one either, because just it's annoyingly unfair, and so I just don't care. But a big thing about this game that I really, really like is that you can equip any weapon in any hand, and 2 of those weapons if you wish. You have to unlock a perk to use 2-handed weapons in one hand, but you can have 2 great swords, like dual wield. You can dual wield 2 shields. You can left hand a shield, right hand a shield, which is, uncommon, and then have a hammer in your left hand, or like you're seeing right here, a great sword and a hammer, and whichever hand you put him in does different attacks. So I have a hammer in my right hand and a great sword on my left, but as you'll see, I'll switch it and they do different things. So that's very neat in my opinion. And also, whenever you level up your weapons, they aesthetically do change, which is also appreciated. And I do use this combo quite a bit. The shield on the, I believe, yeah, okay. The shield and hammer combo I use because the shield can do AoE and hard strikes, and then the hammer is like an unrelenting, unblockable, just pound. Like you can constantly pound with the hammer. So, and this two great swords, you do a lot of AoE spin attacks, which is good, but you really need to get in the skill tree to level it up. Otherwise, it's really going to be slow and can be really annoying. And you can parry with any weapon or shield. And I will say on a quick note, I'm playing this on the PS4. I have an original PS4, and in my 40 hours of playing, it's crashed probably 7 times. One of my favorite weapons, which was the blacksmith hammer, something happened, which I know it's common because I saw a lot of people on Reddit and Google complaining about it. Because you can pull a torch infinitely out of your menu wheel, and something happens where when you're doing specific missions that require you to do that, after the mission's over, your main hand weapon will just disappear from the game and your inventory. So that definitely, upset me quite a bit, and I wish they would have fixed things like that. As far as I know, everyone else I know really isn't having issues, but I've had it crash 7 times. That, my hammer is gone. I've had quests get bugged where it's follow this guy and he just stands there, won't move. Whenever you're trying to do raids and you're at red doors and you're trying to force them open, either the button won't ever pop up, or a Viking member may never show up. Or I've even tried doing a raid where I started the raid and no one showed up. So I had to leave, quit the game, and come back. So there's definitely a lot of technical issues on PlayStation 4, at least on an original. I don't know how it looks like on a PlayStation 4 Pro, but it's like, if you can't really release it on an original Xbox and PS4, then don't. Because I should have just bought it for PC. I was just being stubborn about not getting Epic at the moment, but now that I have Epic because of Godfall, I should have just gotten it on my PC. But yeah, that's something to look out for, is potentially like some technical issues if you're playing on a original console. And as you can see here in the skill tree, it's very, very large, and you can reset any skill you pick at any time, so you can always try new things. I can definitely appreciate Ubisoft for doing that, so you're not stuck with one build. Then you have your abilities, 4 ranged, 4 melee. You get abilities by finding tomes of knowledge throughout the world. Basically every ability you find it twice to upgrade it. So most of my abilities I have found twice. And this is starting the raid. I like the raids. I like the assaults on castles. My biggest issue with something in this game is that let's say a treasure chest will be in a building, and it's like the doors are barred, which basically have these glowing, red metal locks from the inside that you somehow have to figure out how to open. So there's some way in the house. And so I didn't realize that there's windows that you can break, which, I wasn't aware of that. It didn't tell me that. And then there's also certain walls that can be broken, like that look like wooden walls. Because there's walls that you can explode to break too. Those are obvious to see, but that's another issue. There'll be a bunch of treasure chests where it's behind a wall that you have to explode, and usually you can find like an explosive jar, but in some instances there are none, and so you have to hope that you have your that you have arrows in your inventory, B, that you even have the skill where you have explosive arrows, and C, that your ability meter is even up for you to use it. So that's something that I kind of don't like. I wish they would not do dumb things like that, and honestly, some of the houses that you have to try to figure out how to enter are kind of dumb when all you get is like the low tier upgrading ingot. But yeah, I mean, at the moment I'm wearing basically Thor's armor. I mean, that's what it's called, Thor's armor, with the assassin hood. And then I'm using a great sword and a hammer. I like the this great sword is from Raida, which is like the special shopkeep. He was from Origins. It's the same kid somehow, but it was a two-handed scimitar. So I use that in my right hand because it does a lot of good, you know, once again, AoE damage. And a lot of just damage in general. And I use the hammer in my left hand because it's quick to parry, but also if you hold it, you basically jump on someone and just beat the ever-living shit out of them real fast. So I do personally think that's a good combo. And obviously, once again, something good that they've added in this game is killing animations. You can decapitate people, you can cut their arms off, you can smash their heads, you can choke them with a morning star or whatever it's called and break their neck. You stab them with a pole, they'll be hanging on the pole, all kinds of things. As you can see, this is what I'm talking about. You have to have you and an NPC open it, and sometimes you'll be sitting here and an NPC will just never come while you're waiting. Something else I should mention, because now that I'm just thinking about it, I do feel as if this game, you do feel like more of an assassin than Odyssey. I mean, because in Origins it definitely did a good job making you feel like the assassin. But in this game it's more of a choice. You can be fully stealthy assassin, put your hood up, be all sneaky, or you can just go full on melee. And the game doesn't punish you for it, so I do like that. It's your choice. It doesn't blatantly say it, but you don't ever fail a mission. Like, it'll be, hey, be stealthy. But if you go into open combat, it's not an instant failure like the old games. So, you know, two different kinds of playstyles basically. Either really stealthy or just full on melee. Which it's a Viking game, so obviously you want to, you know, I want to go full on melee. Overall, though, I do think this is a good improvement. You know, I know there's the whole, they make these games every year or every 2 years or whatever, and it's getting kind of washed up, which I can agree with. I definitely didn't like Odyssey, and it kind of was like, okay, it's fun, but you're just kind of pulling shit out of your ass now. So, I can appreciate this game, where they're going. The modern day storyline, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's kind of like, okay, that's cheap, because they're basically beat for beat rehashing one of the old game's modern day stories. So, but I think overall, when I looked online, this game had pretty good reviews, and I do, you know, besides, like I said, besides the technical issues, I've had fun playing this game. I don't know what was the last game I've put 40 hours in within like 2 weeks. As you can see, that skill has actually been upgraded, where you hook someone and then you pull them, you spin around them, and then if they're about to die, you basically just automatically decapitate them with a harpoon. So yeah, I mean, this was an overview of the game. I know there's some things I didn't include, but you know, you don't want to spoil everything. This is like a general idea of the game that you can see. And I honestly do, I mean, $60, like, I do agree that I'd say buy it now. If you can buy it on PC, obviously buy it for PC. If you can buy it for PS5 or the Xbox Series X, do it on that. I wouldn't probably recommend buying it on original PlayStation just because of so many issues I've had that's just so annoying. But that'll be it for me. Thanks for watching. There's a few seconds left, so until next time, that'll be it.
Is there trouble?
Come, help me with this.
Keep your guard up, you bleeding It's Vikings here!
Hey, come here.